Hello everyone, and welcome to Woodworking Wisdom. So today, what are we going to do? We're going to do something a little bit ties in with the time of year, Chinese New Year. So I'll make a Chinese style rice bowl. Haven't done them for a few years, so got a blank. I'll set of chopsticks. We could go now, Matt. We're done. No, a bit more. Okay, so we've got to turn our bowl. We're going to shape it. We're going to do our chopsticks. Just going to show you how this all ties together. It looked quite nice when we finished. So we're using a bit of ash. This is, I think this one of you is going to ask. I know what's going to happen. 6-inch, 4-inch deep. All right, so 6-inch diameter, 4-inch deep. This is a piece of ash. My chopsticks are approximately 10mm square by 270mm long. All right, so that gives us our material bits and sizes. And I'll roll it back up on there, put the chopsticks out of the way. Bowl blank I purely fit on the lathe. I've used screw chuck just to speed things up. So screw chuck's held in the chuck jaws. Funny line across here, got a little bit of a heart shape coming across, so I put some super glue in just to harden that up and hold it together nicely. So we've got our prep done, we've done that drill hole, put the screw chuck in. Just going to bring the tailstock centre up. Again, just a bit more safe. Stops any vibration. We've got our tool rust, so robust rust in here, nice to use. Better to get my hands in running along. Okay, so I'm just setting things up, check things clear, a little bit near that side. First thing we're going to do is take it down just to a straight, clean cylinder. So let's have a gouge. 3/8 bowl gouge. Going to bring it onto the tool rest. The flute will be upright at this stage. I'm going to stand my feet apart, facing the lathe. Going to roll the handle just that little bit. Alright, so I can roll it over and then move along. Alright, so first initial touch will be hitting the bevel, but not the tip of the handle where it is. Then if I roll it, we'll push it across, the shaving to go away from me down onto the floor. Oh, I've done that bit. Lathe speed. Let's put the lathe on. Going to rust the bevel. I'll gently roll it. A little bit of vibration, we've got a bit of out of balance on the actual material, and that's the natural state of that material. Got a lot of heart and a bit of sap with one side, so that'll create a bit of bounce. Also a little bit of centre with our cutting out possibly. So we're screwing up a bit now. Coming along. Next one. I'm working same direction, the shavings all go away from me. Down on the floor. Starting to balance up nicely now. Give it a go, coming across to the flutes now about 2 o'clock. Upright there, if I make contact, upright, nothing happens until I roll my right wrist, bring it round to 2, find our cut. Gently push along. So first little bit done. Down to a clean cylinder, just checking that shake where it goes. Just going to bring this back. Need to just mark this up. So set dividers and the jaws we're going to hold this with. So I've got a set of H jaws, gripper type jaws, serrated teeth. They're going to bite in a bit more. I'm just going to lay it on the lathe bed so I can set the dividers up. That looks pretty good. We come in a touch. This is going to give me the size we want, so I can put the lathe on. We've got a centre point now from that tailstock. We can scratch out that line just a little bit now. That gives me a bit of a guide. Again, whilst I'm doing the heavy work, it's worth having that tailstock in place. So let's just bring it back. Let's just do that we're using just a screw chuck. Next thing we're going to go for, parting tool. Let's see if I can get in there. Not quite, but close enough. Just a small cut, give me a break line to work up to. Going to do pull cut with the gouge now. So on its side, no bevel rub. So we're going to pull it out. Got that break line that we generated with the parting tool. Need quite a big foot for this. Quite a long foot for this. That'll do. Okay, so probably nearly an inch, 3/4 of an inch definitely for that foot. That seems quite a long foot, but that all builds into the shape. So it's quite important. We've got to clean that out. There's an edge. That parting tool cut just created just enough of a break line. Still got a line to go back to. Now we're going to rough out our bowl shape. So we reposition the tool rest. Hand across the top again, gouge on its side. We're going to pull round. Start to create our curve. Taking quite a bit of bulk out. So again, going to move the tool rest in, cut down that leverage. Drag that round. So we're not rusting the bevel too much. We're not going to get a clean finish with this. This is about roughing that shape out. Let's have a quick look, see where we are, see how things are coming on. You can try and see our shape here off the overhead camera. Let's have a quick look on there. Quite gentle curve coming up round, a little bit of a flat, still got a little bit of bandsaw cut here. That looks quite good. So we need to start to tidy this up. We've taken a lot of the bulk out. We balance things up, so now we can move that tailstock back. Get it back out of the way. We'll take the centre out. That's done. Want that later. Going to change now. Going to go smaller gouge. 1/4. Probably going to need to lose that. Just to give me enough room, get the handle across the lathe bed. So we're going to start to tidy up. We're going to go from the base, coming up round. We've got to tidy the foot as well. So foot bit first, I've still got that line. So I'm squaring this up to the bowl. Turn the gouge over. Going to go against the fibres a bit here, but I need to create a platform we can sit on. In towards the foot, nice and gently. It there. Speed wise, someone's going to say we're doing just over 1000 RPM at the moment. I could crank it up in a minute. So not a bad speed. 4-inch gouge, we're resting the bevel now. Glutes, 10 o'clock. Gently pulling round. Keep the handle moving. Shifting my body weight. So let's reposition a little bit. Nearly there, go round again. So rest the bevel. Bring the handle in gently. Not about pushing this, forcing the cut. This is about bringing the hand around, controlling that shape. All the way up to the top. Last little bit. I know I've still got that little bandsaw cut. I just want to almost get this section a bit more parallel, if you like. That last inch definitely needs to be quite straight. So we've got our curve. Not too bad there. That's good. Everything blends together nicely. Back round to that foot bit. Still got my scribe line. We can come back a little bit. I've got a line on here. I didn't seem to get that. Down on here at the moment. I need to level the bottom up. Fit in the chuck nicely. It bounces at the moment. Finally grip around the tool rest, left hand. Handle comes out. Find my shaving. Going to leave the little dot in the centre where we had the tailstock mark. The small bit we've left in here will be small enough to fit inside the chuck jaws and not cause any issue. Reduce that down a little bit in diameter. So again, trying to be nice and light and straight. I don't need a dovetail on this. There. No, I said I've got a join point down in here. Little change of direction in that corner. Difficult to get. So, skew chisel. Let's see what it'll do. Going to shear straight round there. Just into that corner. blend that together. See what's going on. Pretty much there. It's got a tool line that I don't like, so my gouge would be a bit heavier as a cut, so that skew will give us something nice, clean. Last bit, a couple of broken fibres up here, just going to knock them off. Okay, so we've got our basic shape, our curve coming up round, big chunky foot. We're going to play with the foot later when we're done. Going to reverse it and shape that, so we've left the tailstock mark as a good guide of where things are. I'm going to sand it, so just bringing the extractor in a bit nearer. I'm going to start with some 150 grit. We're going to put the air on. Going to take our speed down to about 700. So generate less heat. So our 150 grit. Work it round. So I'm trying to pull the shape together, use my fingers, both hands, keep everything moving. So have a look, see what's going on, how is it coming together. Fingertips again, just the shape though. Torn grain errors, long grain is here, so as they get shorter, spot to look at is there, and one over there. I'll do up there a bit more, gonna bring my hand up, easier to get to there. And again, using both hands to support one another when we sand, we move the banjo out the way. So we are abrasive and lapping, so I've got 3 layers at the moment. Have a look, see what's happening. That's good, and the heavy cut, or the 150 if you like, the coarser abrasive is doing all the hard work. Good. 2-4. Oh, 400. A little bit sawdust, just do a quick furnish. Okay, so we've got our sanding done. I'm not going to put any oil on this at the moment because we've got to cut the rim, we've got to shape it a bit more. So be worth oiling it off the lathe when we finish. Going to check that foot. So we have doing while you've got something at this stage. If you've got 2 chucks, fantastic. Check it fits on, and tying it up. There's nothing worse than getting the wrong size foot. Take it off the faceplate, the screw chuck, and then suddenly find it doesn't fit. So just that quick check can be good. Got to get it off the screw chuck. So, going to use chuck key just to help that. So you can unwind it. Coming along. Quite long screw on this. We've got spacer disc in, just make it a bit shorter. But that's worth doing. Let's take that out while it's held on the lathe. Swap the chuck, or swap the jaws depending what you have. At the moment I'm a bit spoiled, I'm going to swap the chuck. Speed time up a little bit, so C jaws, we're going to go to the H, put those on. Gotta get our bowl up in there, tighten it up. Next we want to know, does it run nice and level, nice and clean, no wobble? That's good. Okay, so we tightened it. I'm not worried about those jaws marking that base. We haven't sanded it. We're going to reverse it. We're going to clean it up. Now we've got to start the inside. Our gouge. Going to want a set of calipers there on the wall behind me, so we'll grab those in a minute. Just clean the floor. Bring the start switch down a bit nearer so I can turn things on and off easily. We use 2 gouges, so 1/4 inch and a 3/8. Go with the 3/8 to start with. Heavier cut, bulk removal. So I'll start in the middle. Finger and thumb working hard here. Push things in. Take a bit more out. So this is knocking the bulk out quickly. Said bulk removal. Just a little bit there. Just while we got the gouge, we've got hold of. Going to do the rim. Could have done this a bit earlier. I need it flat. So I've rested on the bevel point. Brought the tip up. Find the cut, then move back off the edge. That'll do. Going to change from the 3/8 down to a 1/4. We want a thinner wall thickness at this stage. I don't know if we can see on the side camera here. Let's do a lot of bulk in the bottom. I've worked on this rim section at the moment. We're going to get that down to thickness, then we'll take more of this out. If I take too much of the middle out, it'll weaken it where the foot is, get more vibration. So if we can keep a bit thicker in the base, we'll get the rim down to the thickness we want, and then we'll remove more nearer the bottom. So smaller gouge, 1/4 inch. There. First one. Going nice and gently when I start. Fingers on the left hand if you're looking on the overhead camera. Squeezing behind. Just add a bit of support. Now we need to start to measure things. So, set of calipers. Still got a bit to go. It looks too thick at the moment. It's too chunky here. So, with the calipers I create a gap. Then what we're going to try and do is check it's equal. Now what I want to check at the moment is, am I getting thinner further down than I am on the rim? It's about the same. It's good. What we want to do, make it thinner up here. We get our cut, we select it, tip of the gouge, fingertips just in behind, drive down, stop before we hit the wall. Good. Get that bit right, let's have a feel, get the fingers in, get the calipers in. Now I can close them up a little bit. I can wiggle it. What gap do I get there? When I move further down, won't quite go down there. That's good. It's suggesting it gets tighter, so I have a bit of taper. So we're not actually going to stretch the outside of the bowl with what we've already done. Using the tip of the calipers, so the calipers aren't touching the outside edge. Next stage done. Let's have a look. Get back in. Getting thicker as I come down still, just by moving them down through I can see that. So I don't need to come right back to the opening. Have another look. Check we're equal down to our step there. Okay, that's not too bad. I wonder. Again, just in behind. Just looking at my thickness, want to be a little bit thinner. Good on. That looks the same. Not too bad there, good. Quite clean, we cut with the tip of the gouge, we've got that straight section now. So we're going to sand it. Seems weird sanding it now, but actually it will start to shrink across the grain when we take the bulk out. So our 150 grit again. Inside. If it shrinks across the grain, it's going to get an unequal thickness when we finish. A little bit just to go there, so quick double check is good. $150 is going to take a little bit of material, so like I said, if it shrinks it will show. First stage. You can angle that toe rest in. The robust rust's a nice piece, you've got the curve in underneath here, so it's clearing the bottom of the bowl nicely. It allows me to get in there a bit further. Put the calipers back out the way, swap the gouges round, we're going back to the 3/8. Can we get to the middle just? I can drop my handle down. A bit more speed. So I've been quite heavy with the 3/8. Going quick. See where we are. Get rid of the dust out there. Possibly one more we can do in there. Quick look, going on again, feel, okay, cut down the overhang again, swap the gouges, so we're going to go back to the 1/4 inch gouge, start to refine this. Again, left hand in behind. Shatter off the gouge down there, standing quite a long way. Right, let's have a measure there. Got our calipers back in, we've got a join line at the moment I can see. Getting thicker as we come down, which is good. Worst scenarios, you go a lot thinner and you can't measure it. That's good. Into our join line, just picked it up there from the previous set of cuts. Gently drive round. Coming up to that wall again now. Calipers back in. What's going on? Get to there. Where's that? Just short of the bottom. Trying to check our shape feels good and how it flows together inside. Will the abrasive paper blend that together? If there's any join or tool mark, how big is it? Can the abrasive get in there? Not too bad. Nice and dry, this ash. Actually makes it a bit more dusty. Next stage done, but let's have a look. Where are we? Down to there. Fingertip, got a little lump. Now you can feel it with your fingers. I can't see it. So where is it? There. Let's put a pencil line on it. draw it round a bit. So we can turn that back on. Drive up to that little lump. Blend it together. So I take my pencil line out. Fingertips again, that's better. That flows now. Tool rest out. Gonna put so we're going to sound the two stages together now. Checking if there's any tool join line. I've got a little one there. So again, we'll keep the abrasive moving, pulling along. Coming back over what I've done, I've not got any movement on the rim, which is good at the moment. .240, more to do with the rim area now. We'll drift down, take some of those scratches out. Just good for a second. Tool rest back in. Where can I get into with this? Turn things over. Set our height. Checking we're going to get to the middle, that is good. I think that's where we're down to, okay. 3/8 gouge for a minute. We'll take that lump out the middle. I expect we have a long side camera, let's see if we get. Got to go overhand for this. I can work to the middle, I could even turn it back over and come back down. I've got to go careful that I don't drive into the lump we're leaving. So at this stage the flutes take facing 10 o'clock. So there, let's get rid of everything that's collecting inside. Now we can see a bit better. The rest of the bevels come round towards the middle. Slow the pace down in the centre. So repeat cut. Right, let's have a measure. So our calipers, we're trying to get our equal thickness coming all the way down through. Get so far. Now these are, I can't remember what size, but I'm starting to snag a little bit where I can get depth in. Smooth that just a touch. Starting to hit the side here. Can't get round the bowl. So you might need something bigger. So, our bowl calipers, double-ended, big H or big S, bigger of H's. So these allow me, we haven't dropped them and dented them too much, bend them back in place. I can measure the thickness, whatever I get one end, I get the same on the other. So I can move it round and check things look equal. The other nice thing I find with these, I can even fit them down between the chuck jaws. So I can measure round a little bit more. So let's go to there, so on, checking my thickness, seeing what happens there. That's actually pretty good. Accuracy there, good. Lovely. So I drop them back down there. We're all the way down to there. We've got a little spot in the middle to get. So I think we'll get rid of that spot now. Just moving that robust rest in again. So the curvature of the underside of that robust helps so much to get in there with the curvature shape of the bowl. Got that a little bit in the middle. So, tip of the gouge. Put our shape together. No force across the middle there. We've got rid of our dot in the centre. Fingertips now, just feeling how that flows together. Feels good. Let's move the banjo out. Put the air on, we need to sand the inside. Take the speed down a bit. To the centre, still a bit fast. Doing 1,000 at the moment. So you can see left and right hands working hard now. Left wrist or right wrist being supported. I want something a bit more of a contour sander. So let's have a look for it. How about this? A bit of wood shavings. Held in there. Pull it tight. How grip this. Gives me something I can push on. Also seems to help distribute the heat nicely. Gently out, so I've worked across the middle. So these are 150. We're building that bottom shape. Got a little white dot in the centre on chasing. Gently coming up. How's that flow? Not bad. Again, coming across that middle. Full our shape. Going to come up to the edge because I haven't got too much movement. Feel how this comes together. Quite a deep bowl for its diameter. So 150. 240 we can wrap round it. Literally over the top. So draw it up round. That's quite good. Going to change one of our 400 grip. So we're going to take our shavings. Look at this, nicely compact. Can use that. Back in there. We can grip it again. Time to have a stop and an inspect. Tube out there, the crack that I had in the side comes down across. Nothing seems to have opened up. Bit right in the middle, we're done with that. Fold our brazier and pinch it just so I get smack bang on the centre. Still got tiny dots. These are the 240. So right in the middle, little white dot, probably lower than the surface. Got that new bit of 400 I've got there. Turn it off. I go to here. Okay, right, so we got our bowl sanded. Hopefully, I think you can probably see it. I don't know if you can in a bit. There you go. Nice, clean, nice equal shape. quite straight this bit. That's important for what we're going to do next. We've got to cut the rim, going to cut that down. We've got to do this foot first though. We're going to reverse it. So let's take our chuck off of here. So the index pin can come in under there. That's those 18 or 100mm grippers with the serrations. They're built into the work. The reason I use them, they're a lot longer, so they're going to accommodate that foot better. More gripping power down through that length than something shorter. So put them out the way. We're then going to go, I'm going to use some button jaws. So I've used these a bit regularly. You could use wood plates. Occasionally I'd use those for this. You could use a foam pad inside, but the last little stage becomes difficult. So I'm going to close our buttons down. So we've got the rubber buttons, they grip on the outside of the bowl, just pushing things forward. Take the pin out. We've got the tailstock mark that we left from earlier. That's going to be beneficial now because we can bring that up. I'm just going to play around and see how things feel. I'll bring that up. Check where things run. That looks good. Bring this in. So again, that robust rust fits beautifully in here. Actually, the cutaway section gets nicely around the centre. It's not too fat. I can get nice and close. Gouge, 1/4 inch. Speed. There. Gently bring that up a little bit. So about 1,000 again. The gouge. I want to start to shape this spot. So reduce the diameter, curve it in towards the top of where it joins the bowl. Give it a gouge, gently go along. This is more a decorative item. I don't know how many people would actually use it. Yeah, how much room have we got in here? Going to struggle a little bit. Let's go smaller gouge. So maybe go small spindle gouge. So following out some of that foot area. Taking out the bulk I can get to at the moment. And then, having done some of the heavy work, I'm going to bring that back. Again, we'll take that centre out for a minute. So the ring centre's out the way. Back to our gouge. Checking things there. So again, left hand, I'm using the thumb as a pivot point, pushing across. I'm going to go a bit deeper, but I know the tailstock's going to get in the way, so let's take him off. Too low. Got to come up a little bit. So this is about lightening it. Bit of noise on this because it's hollow on the inside. It's a bit like making a drum now, isn't it? I mean, so a little bit more. Coming towards the middle. Gonna come from centre outwards. Try to get things flat. Again, trying to be nice and light. I'll come back, pick that up. Blend that in so we're straight. Get a little bit worried doing this. Let's grab depth gauge off. Looks deeper than we are. Only up to there, that's fine. Got a bit to go. Okay. Now if you can see, let's move my fingers out of the way, that's better. Everything's showing the overhead there. Yeah, okay. Right, so up to there. So hollow this out a bit, make it a bit lighter. I'm just playing with fingers now. How's that feel? I want to come down the side. Get it straighter. Stop before we hit the bottom. That feels okay. Last little bit. I've got the step just up there. I want a step, but not quite as thick as I'd left it. sand time, so we'll bring the extractor back in on 150 grit. There as well, so 150's doing the work, send that in. Quick stop and look, see what's happening. That looks pretty good. 240. Straps just need to make sure we get that. Oh, the abrasive again. Get right into that corner. $400. Small burnish to clean the dust off. Got the longer chuck key. Eye millet, sort of clear button jaws. Let's take that out. Done with the button jaws for a sec, so let's just close them up. Gonna move them out the way. Got a bowl at the moment. Let's have a quick look up on there, I think. So you can see the undercut on the foot. Makes things a bit lighter, a bit more delicate as a shape. Goes quite nicely. So now we've got to start cutting that rim. Now put the chuck back on. Have to cut that bit. We want to mark this out now. For our rim, we're going to do a cut that comes round. We're going to have a hole for the chopsticks. Would have been nice to have left the foot to hold it while you cut the rim, but then you can't reverse it. You've got no way of keeping it level. So, okay, chicken and egg scenario. So home I used something like this, bit of foam, got a ring. Hope it'll fit inside our jaws. Bit of foam on the front. We can use this in a sec. Let's just see if this is going to go out wide enough. Use it for different sets of jaws at home, so just be interesting to see. That's pinched down. Just checking everything's in. First bit done. Tool rest at this stage we don't need. Let's move that out of the way. Let's get the banjo out of the way. Tail stuck. A couple of other little things. So multi-head centre, we'll cup. So this is a conical centre, so it's hollow. This bit's taken it out and change the centres. I can use a ball with it. So put that into there. That to there. Now, hopefully, if I can get my hands in there, gives me some sort of vice which I can play around with now, getting it level a bit. It's not going to matter if it's level for what we're going to do, but just something to hold this with. So I can keep my hands out of the way. It's easier to work on. All right, so the foam will stop things getting damaged. Next thing we want to look at, where we're going to have our chopstick hole. It's got to go in side grain, not end grain. So let's just have a quick look on here. You can see the side grain particles here. Right? This way you get those end grain fibres. If it's end grain, it's going to be very weak coming down. So our hole needs to be either here or this side. Ooh, have a think. Oh, it's got the highest point. That might be nicer. So we're going to have a hole down here. So at this stage I'm just going to draw on a line. To give you an idea of my hole, I've got a drill bit, it's 20mm diameter. So I'm going to use a washer. Could use a penny, whatever you like, just something laid on the top so you can see where it's going to go. You want about an equal width in from there, from there. That's not bad. If I do my washer, I can draw a centre circle, I can draw the outside, work round it. This is why I wanted something to hold this on the lathe. I've got a circle, I've got a middle, could be there, can come to that. That's the minimal cut-off point I want here. That's there. Hoping you can probably see that on the overhead camera. So I've got the circle, it's in here. You might be able to come down a bit. Okay, and that needs to be about there. Opposite is where that bit. So that's opposite. So what do I want to know the opposite? Halfway. So I've got my line there, so I can come down it. That's to that. Halfway point. In between those two. See if I can get this balanced out. Now if I draw a small cross line on the rim there and there. That's good. Get it level, so about there. In the middle. I've got to be spot on. 3/4. That one there. Quarter. It's going to be round here then. So where's that one there? Down. That's that. Alright. So now I'm going to start to do, I've got to work round from my drop points. Describe that line. So gently bringing it back. So I start with the deeper bit. Coming up. So I blend in. Next one, I've moved the pencil down again. This is maximum. And I'm aiming to come up nearly there, into that. Then this one, got to come up round and can blend right in up to the top. That becomes a guideline. So now we have a line that comes all the way down. Okay. There's a quick guide of how you can mark that out using almost quarter section. That's done. Good. Going to drill the hole first, I think. Centre point, I've given myself a small dot. I could help mark it. Rattle, set of dividers. Alright, so let's just see if I can do a little bit of a highlight for you guys. I'm going to draw it as a big heavy cross now. I think you can probably see that now. There's your cross, look. Quite a lot of light in here, but you can see that cross. Good. We're going to use Forstner bit to drill the hole. Alright, so we're going to use that Forstner bit to drill the hole. Now these are the fish ones we do, an interchangeable chip if they've got the hole in the side. So I can take the chip out, I can change it. You'll see the relevance of that in a second. If we go with Forstner like it is and we try and drill through, we're going to smash that apart. It's going to be a bit aggressive, there's nothing inside supporting it. So could you make up something? Simple block that'll fit inside there. That's going to go in. Alright, so I think we can have a look. Side camera might show that. I'll move my hand, look, that'll fit in here. It's not a bad shape, I've cut it to fit inside, sanded it in. I can use a bit of foam, soft packing foam. That'll go in, that holds a minute for where I want it to be. Something as a clamp, need to bring it round just a little bit. Got my tailstock a little bit in there. Let's just have a quick look and see what you guys can see up on there, or that one there is better. So I've just off my mark. I'll keep it upright because I think it's going to be easier to see. Now with that Forstner, it has that interchangeable tip on here. There it is. Okay. Because that tip, you can also get a drill bit. I want that, I don't want that, and I've got to go careful, I don't want to drop it on the floor at this stage. The drill bit. This is the centre point, but actually, I can drill a hole, I can even drill into the pine block that's in behind it. First stage. I can load it back into there. Right. So it's got a taper fit that fits in. Then we're going to go from there to that. Now I'm using the weight of the drill, nothing else. I'm not really pushing at this stage. Clamp's wiggling round a little bit, so let's just reach down and make sure it stays on. Little bit to go, guys. There we go. Take our clamp off. So my bit of foam acts a bit sacrificial. Gets a mark on it, but it stops all the breakout on the other side, which we'll show you when we get to the end. You can't quite see, you can see the hole there. It's nice and clean on that inside face. Normally you bust through with the drill, you've got no way of controlling it. So something as a block, bit of foam, and that drill, fantastic. The extension makes it easy to give you that location. First part done. Next thing, we want to cut the rim. So how? Okay. Problem is we've drawn it on the outside. Some of you might go, we could go bandsaw. No, too dangerous. So I'm just setting it up. Let's have a look. Plug. Go into there. A oscillating tool. So the original one was by a company called FEIN. They still exist. Really useful tool. BOSCH, all the likes have something like that. So this has a blade on it. This doesn't spin round and round. It left and right. Don't go round and round lots and lots. It's just so this is quite good for this. So let's put some power on. Noise. A little bit noisy. Oh. I'll have to line up my line. Try the guy through. There it is. Just grab the bowl, stop it sitting on my phone with it. Coming up towards the hole. This side. That's good. I've got my pencil line now as a guide. Just about. And then there was silence. So last little bit I've got to go. Just need to get right into the corner. Like that. That's quite nice that you've got this. Huh? Let's make enough of these. You can make this into sculpture or something. Huh? So, bendy little ring. But let's move the MULTIMASTER out of the way. It's a bit noisy. Could probably do a newer blade, and it oscillates so it doesn't go round. So actually quite safe to do. Gives you a bit of control to do that. There goes the ball. Right, at this stage, hand sand all the way around the rim. Takes a little bit of time. You need to work round it. Little pad. You can go with Japanese carving files. Come around that edge. Up. Okay, so you get our rim. I think let's just have a quick look on the camera. We got our angle comes across. That looks good around there. So you can see we got around. See hand sand down around here. All right. So I wonder. Let's see if we can cheat. Take that back. Now, hand sanding takes time, so let's just have a quick look, see if we can clean that up a bit quicker. And then we've got the other task to do, make the chopsticks. Just sander, slow speed, with some air. So this sander can speed it up, you can work around, again you get a bit of noise, got a little bit to blend in, and then we go to hand sanding. You need to soften the corners, blend that in. Outside it you need to get rid of the pencil, so you need to rub it over by hand, or little pad sander, electric drill type one, 400 grit, that'll clean that in. So we've got our bowl. That's set up now, we're going to change direction a little bit. Go do some spindle work. So changing the tail stock, we need ring centre, which isn't on there, not on there, down in there. And chopsticks. These are going to go into there. So these are holly, quite straight grained, I'm hoping. Straight will make it easier. Set of rear jaws, or spigot jaws in here. Just going to tighten those up, they've obviously been swapped round. Better. Bit of wood, hopefully, will fit down inside. Doesn't need to go through the live headstock. We need something about that out, would be good. First one in, ring centre in the tailstock. So important for these, that will stop the fibres splitting. We can line things up. Tool rest, let me go back to that. Ooh, I wonder how much longer is it? So a longer rest would be nice. I can got something to sit my hand on nearer the chuck, but it puts me a bit further back. What if we can extend the barrel a bit to get a bit nearer? That would be good. We can move in a fraction then. Check we're clearing the chuck. Check this is located. And central. There we are. So now with these we've got to tighten this down. The skew chisel. I want to come all the way to the end. So at this stage we're knocking the corners off, if you like. Now I can get my hand in. So the bit on the far end, creating a bit of a break line. Deepen it again. This edge we've still got a bit of a square. Coming back up to there, clean that in, and get right up to the chuck. Still got small flat in here, you can't quite see where, so I need to get my fingers in underneath for a minute. Then over the top. Better, work around that work light on the top of the lathe. So the left hand acting as a steady, not gripping it firmly. My left thumb's pushing along. Creating our taper. I caught the stop switch. So I removed the stop switch on the lathe. Well, that's one of the nice things, I can move that switch about. So again, just decreasing the diameter, feeling with my fingers what's going on. We're starting to get our taper, we need more off tailstock end, we're round down here, tiny square bit there. So skewers, all we're aiming to use, if you like, the bottom third of it, long points up out the way. Why no handle on this? Lighter. This is one of my box making tools really, but people are shocked that you don't just have to do that recess for a lid. Out there. Thinner down the far end now, so I've got to control it a bit. So I blend this all together. Get our shape, that's not bad, coming together nicely. Still going to be using my left hand as we are. I can control it. I'm also feeling what's happening when going along. Where I've come back a little bit and kind of go, oh, a little lump there, come back and blend it in. So I'm using this the whole time as a set of calipers, if you like. The smaller that I go, the more flex we're going to get. So I'll be a little bit patient. Gently raising the handle section, find our cut as we get smaller this end. The handle's got to come up more. Tiny little lump I'm chasing there, just to blend that together. Okay. Let's have a quick look. I'm a bit long with what I was going to lay on. Let's just see if I can get it in there. I'm a bit high on this end. At least we've got the bit in the chuck. Just checking straightness. Doesn't look bad. That's what I don't want at the moment. Tiny bit there. Feel a little lump. It'll probably sand. We're going to sand them. It's good. So tailstock end we're done, down to that point. Headstock one, just want to clean this up. I've still got a small flat up on here, right in, just to there for a minute. We're going to part that off. I want it to be round. Just check we've got rid of and what we've got. Tiny little bit change of direction. Something is a bit of decoration. You can have whatever you like in there. So I've got small fluted perting tool, made by a company called Axminster. Now we can have a couple of little beads. Someone's going to email and say there's a set size for a chopstick. I think there probably is. So that there. Just tidying up the ends at the moment, and then we're going to sand this a little bit. tailstock end just working in there where ring centre got a bit of support there. Take that last little bit down. Let's find the abrades, we'll get the light to stop, look. 240, good. Don't want to be too heavy with the sanding. Get that in. That's 400. Quite small. Gonna work down it. Tourist, just going to go a little bit shorter. So I want to concentrate on the tailstock end. Get in a little bit. Check we're going to clear the corner block that I've still got. So I've left this tiny little square section on the tailstock end. I think actually if I move that back, you'll be able to see it here. Okay, so you see the square. That's adding strength at the moment. We obviously want it out of the way. So I'm going to go to there. Sensible thing I want to do. Let's drop the lathe speed down a bit. I'm quite slow now. I'm going to be down to 500. Look, still go round, still cut this. Just double checking we're not going to catch the chuck jaws when we lowered it. A little bit of a curve head on here. That's done. Do you think we got it going nice and slow? Under that end. Okay, support it, we can round it over. You've got to go really fast, it's going to throw it around the room for you. That's good. A little bit of that 400 then, to the end. Come up there. That's fantastic. Again, got to be quite slow speed. Can come into here. So tip of the skew, so I'm using the long point. Got edge to there. Oh, I got one. Let's have a look. So we need a little bit of hand sanding, or even pad sander would be good. Speed it up. So it depends on what you've got as a mark on the end. I'm going 400 grit. Let's go down a grade, 240. Soft these in. Okay, 1. Two's not bad. Let's have a quick look, see how they look. The pair. Don't know if we can really see on there. Okay, you've got your beads, you've got the thing. The wick. So I think we'll put some finish on, so something that's going to bring it out. We've got something a bit food safe, so we're going to use some lemon oil. Right, so I'm going to put a little bit in there. This will bring the colour out. Bit of paper. Going to dip it in. That creates my reservoir. I'll go around. It's amazing. I love this stage of putting an oil finish on. We should bring the colour out. That look different? Not the same bit of wood, is it? Oh wow. Work around that rim. We've used lemon oil because it's food safe. We could go with food safe oil. If you're going to use these with food, then yes, you obviously want to use them with something with food safe finish. If they're going to be more decorative, you could use whatever. You could use a sealer and a wax. This will drink this in a little bit. So I've cleaned up, sanded off those lines, anything excess, just working around it. Bit in there, let's flood a bit. Get into all those little bits. You want to make sure we get the finish everywhere. Back inside the hole, got a line on the rim I can just see there, so I'll bring that round. So you can see what I'm doing, just working around that rim now. And amazing colour down in there now. Look at that. Ooh. So I'm going to put that just on there. Oh, chopsticks, again, there's nothing to stop you wiping them. Bit of food safe oil. And that one over as well. Fiddly little things to turn. Then, let's put them where they're meant to be, in there. So you get something that's quite a decorative little item. You get your 2 chopsticks that will fit in, so they go through that little hole. Into there, 1, 2. Back off the leg bed, look. Alright, so we got our little beads down on there. They look good. Quite a nice little project. Turn them around. That's it. Probably more decorative. So I think, hopefully, you've enjoyed. Lots of different techniques in there, lots of things with different chuck jaws. And I'm sorry, the gripper jaws, fantastic if we're doing that longer base, give more support. The long spigot jaws we use to turn the chopsticks, I class them expanding type pen chuck, but they can grip in the centre. You've got more clearance off here, so really useful. Okay, the multi-tool, fantastic, cut that rim off. So little things in there, little tricks and snips, hopefully you can use, even down to that foam collar which is floating about now. All right, so hope you've enjoyed. We'll see you next time for another Woodworking Wisdom. Thanks then, bye.